to the North American LCS coverage. Where else would you want to be? We're readying the Rift for our first match of the day, COMplexity versus Team Curse. And right now, players of Team Curse are feeling a surge of momentum after ending their Super Week with 3 straight wins.
Their confidence is very high, and Xpecial had some strong talk after their win over CLG.
We're a top bot lane. Have people fear us, not fear Rush Hour, who we just completely demolished, sorry. But, I mean, we're looking good, and we're going to be even better. And NA bot lanes, they're going to fear us.
And now they have a lighter schedule this week, facing off against COMplexity and Evil Geniuses. They're only 3 games back from first place, so they'll be looking to bring home a 2-0 week this week and close that gap with the leaders, see if they can actually pull through.
That's indeed what they're hoping, but we have to remember a lot of other super confident teams faced off against COMplexity and came away disappointed.
Yeah, COMplexity do seem to be the perfect counter to confidence. They have picked up 4 of their 6 wins against Dignitas and Cloud9. Most recently, they overcame an 11,700 gold deficit against the always confident Dignitas to come back and take the win. They used to be a team that had nothing to lose, and they did play like it, but now they've started winning games, and they're only 2 games behind 6th place and a playoff berth. So now that they have something to lose, they are starting to take these stakes more seriously, and we'll see if that pressure gets to them or if it can spur them on to greater heights.
That's right, and the big story from Super Week was the turnaround for Curse, who took down some of the toughest competition the league has to offer. It was a surprise to everyone but the members of Curse.
Going into Super Week, we had 4 games. We were in 6th place, but we were a lot of games away from like the big 5 who were at the head of the standings. And our goal going to Super Week really was just to close that gap. First day of Super Week, we were against TSM. They've bested us many times in the past, and although we came really close to winning quite a few times, we wanted this to be like our solid statement, like we can beat you guys.
Here comes Twisted Fate. What's Pearson gonna look for? Looks like nothing just yet, but there's a flash in. They pick up Cup. TSM crushed that. Only 8 kills, but it's enough for TSM to win the game. Congratulations.
That kind of brought us down because it was like same old story, same old song and dance. But we just tried to brush it away. We knew we had 2 games the next day versus LMQ on C9, and these were going to be arguably even harder games.
We are shifting into gear for our next Rumble on the Rift. LMQ versus Team Curse. Xiao goes in, and they quickly jump over to Cop, forcing him to flash. LMQ is just waiting to take down Cop. That focus did not work for them.
But I think Super Week, it just finally clicked. We had a much better game plan for the whole game instead of just like kind of the first early levels. By the 3rd and 4th game, I felt like we were playing exactly like Scrim.
It's not so much that it all, like, the flip switched in Super Week, but I think the fruits of our labor really came out.
There's the ulti, high push back. Leona's gonna catch him. Turret goes down, and here comes the fight on the Nexus. 44 minutes in, Curse closes out the game. Cloud9.
Curse is on the Nexus, a 10,000 gold lead. They had it at 20, they have it, and they take the game. Curse taking down CLG.
Those are really big wins for us. We were able to come out of Super Week with a big 3-1, and everyone's like, damn, Curse is looking strong.
It feels pretty damn good to just go from losing to beating some of the best teams in the league in the hardest week. I mean, that's a challenge, and we rose to that challenge. But I think the bigger challenge is to do it for the rest of the season.
We knew we were a team that could win. We were strong, we were beating teams in scrims. Everyone was like, Curse is like so good, they just don't show up when it counts. And the fact that we were finally able to do that really meant a lot to us.
Let's see if they can carry this momentum going as well. Hopefully it doesn't hurt them if anything goes wrong. They can still keep moving forward. Let's check out the starting lineups now. As we get into it on the blue side, it will be COMplexity. That means it's Westrice going in the top lane, Kaz in the jungle, probably in the mid lane, ROBERTxLEE at 80 carry, and Bubbadub warming up on support.
And on the red side, it's Curse. Up top is Quas in the jungle. IWillDominate, mid Voyboy, 80 carry Cop, and support Xpecial.
And as we look to jump into Champion Select, we'll see if Curse can actually take the stranglehold from here. It would be their biggest advantage, but then again, like COMplexity, Curse is a team that can win fights well down in gold, so I don't know if it'll matter.
Now, I'm really looking at that guy right there, Xpecial. because he wants their bottom lane to be one of the feared bottom lanes
Yeah.
in the North American LCS. And they're going up against the bottom lane in Robert and Bubbadub that have taken down many a team. A lot of the complexity wins start in the bottom lane.
Yep.
When Robert gets multiple kills really early on, a lot of those games have led to complexity victories.
And Complexity's the one to pull out those cheeky little moves as well. Bubbadub, I believe, still has the fastest first blood on the, I gotta say, West Coast here, as we're over here now, but fastest stash in the West so far. But ROBERTxLEE, you're right, when he gets those snowballs, nice look, Probably, they can keep it going. And it doesn't even have to be Probably that would be carrying from the mid lane. That's kind of the way the Complexity used to work. Definitely a team that's been able to use their strengths when they need it. Curse is a team that when they have the one strength, sometimes it isn't enough. But when the whole team comes together, that's when you get the 3-1 super week. Oh, dear.
That's the other thing.
They pushed themselves in Champion Select here. Remember when Robert was trying to get Bubbadub to move his eyebrows? It's strenuous.
Yeah, a lot of this team has gotten a lot more fans just because of the attitude of the team. You know, they don't necessarily win a lot of games.
Because it's like, what are you guys doing?
But they always play to the fans. And they are not afraid to bring out different strategies either. So a lot of those come from that mid lane, probably willing to play a lot of different things. Same thing could be said for Curse, though. Voyboy, very versatile guy himself.
Absolutely. Away from Westrice. He had a pretty good game for himself coming out last week. Gave Inox some big trouble on his birthday. Didn't have fun in that game. He made sure to give Inox some presents that he didn't want to unwrap. There's Xpecial, the man who's spoken quite a few big words lately about the progress of Curse, how they've been moving, about Voyboy especially, as he kind of was in a rut, but has seemingly climbed right out of that with the help of the team. So if everybody can still play at that caliber, then they're going to be ready to really take down all the top teams.
Yeah, and in the history of this split of the North American LCS, Curse have had a lot of close games against the top teams.
Yeah.
Really, last Super Week was the first time that they actually got wins and consecutive wins over those top teams.
That's true.
So having that confidence back might do a lot for them, or it might have just been, you know, a fluke, and they will go back to the same old Curse where they get close, but then make one big mistake in game. And,
Well, that's what they say. They broke
end up not being able to finish.
the being cursed curse of forever. So maybe they can get themselves a little bit closer to that top caliber of the 1, 2, 3 spot. It's going to be very difficult, but because it seems like teams like LMQ, CLG, and TSM have their number. Teams like Cloud9 that they've seemingly beat in the past few games. But when it comes down to those tight super weeks in the end, we remember TSM to climb all the way back up to first and be right there with Cloud9 in the previous splits. So there's definitely a lot of strength to be had from these top tier teams at the end of the split.
This team, Complexity, they've undergone a lot of changes, and they're actually on a much better pace than they were at the beginning of the split, because they are 5-7 in games with Kez. Doesn't sound like that great of a record, but when you compare it to before Kez being 1-7,
Yeah.
sounds a whole lot better. So they've definitely made some upgrades, and the team has gotten better over the course of the split, which they knew coming in they were going to have a slow start, and it was going to take a while. They have made improvements.
Yeah. So many variables to work on when you get a new player, so it does take all of that time. We even see some of the top teams, even when CLG has made constant changes, they say don't expect results right away. And it's a true thing from any tier team. We'll see what happens as we now jump into Champion Select. All teams now within the LCS of North America have had a lot of time to play with a full roster here, so we'll see what they have coming with Week 8. And if it's good enough to get themselves up in the standings.
Yeah, so Kez, as I was mentioning, big part of Complexity, bringing him in. But one of the things is that both him and Dominate really like Elise. Dominate doesn't really play Lee Sin, so he's been an Evelyn and Elise main for the LCS pretty much for his first 2 picks. Meanwhile, Kez really enjoys Elise as well. Definitely one of his go-to picks, so that should be contested jungler for these guys.
Now, not favoring a champion like Lee Sin, that has to hurt your champion pool.
If you don't play basically what's considered to be the best champion for a single role, then yes, that will be a detriment to any team right now. And Lee Sin is widely considered to be the best champion for competitive jungling.
Very interesting to see a crutch right there in Champion Select. Obviously,
Elise is up,
Lee
boom.
Sin getting through, and they almost play that. Will you take it? Does he have it? Westrice could take it in the top lane if it's not taken.
Yeah, so a lot of the times we mention how these players have not played a champion in the LCS.
Right.
Of course, they do play them all in solo queues. So Dominate has had games on the champion. It's just the confidence that you need to play something like that in the LCS when it matters definitely makes a huge difference here. And he has shied away from it in the past, opting for other things like Skarner or some some Vi or something like that.
Right.
Maybe even he'll go back to Pantheon.
Maybe Pantheon.
That did work out for them for a while.
Maybe get a few drops on the Rift today. We'll see. Looks like it could be the AD carry support pickup. Xpecial has been going with a lot of Thresh. That was Pinpoint first ban. They're not going to allow him to bring Hook City to this game. But he does get the Braum. Enough crowd control to continue the lockdown and keep that cop safe.
Yeah, we talked about already, what's considered best champions for a role.
Right.
Braum is definitely in that conversation as far as supports go.
Oh, dear.
So, Braum definitely not a surprise for a first pick there. Complexity, though, really they've been favoring supports that have sustain anyway. So the Nami and the Sona have been pretty big for Complexity. Bubbadub really enjoying those picks. And he's even picked Nami into Braum before, even though, yes, everyone gets frustrated when their ultimate gets negated by just one Braum shield. But in the lane phase, Nami actually has a pretty good advantage because of the sustain and because of the range. Opting this time, though, to go for the defensive pick, Black Shield.
Yep. Keeping ROBERTxLEE safe. The Lucian pickup has usually been quite big for him coming into these games. A 7-1-7 game the first time they faced off. And then it was actually Cop to grab Lucian for the win in the second game. So they've kind of switched on the AD carries once again.
Yeah.
Just waiting for Curse to filter in. Voyboy usually leaving himself for last, so expect to see that top lane and support pickup coming in right now.
Yeah, Curse already have a great late game hyper carry as well as a great defense for him. Braum brings that just in himself. So Curse can go many directions with this still because they have a lot of important picks left with the mid and jungle probably going to be high priority for them. There it is.
With a Syndra lock in.
So a lot of junglers were practicing Rengar and were disappointed when the Q bug got him banned. The Q bug, by the way, was that he got double on hit effects for his Qs. So a lot of people were just running Mad Dreads into Feral Flare because that's an on hit and you get a lot of extra damage because of all your Qs. I'm really interested to see if Dominate stays with that build path or if he mixes it up because cooldown reduction is extremely important on Rengar. That's one of the best stats that you can stack up on Rengar because more cooldown reduction means more empowered abilities, translates to way more damage on him. And some people have gone, tank cooldown reduction or just stick with that assassin build. Let's see which way he goes this time because Orianna being locked in with it means that he'll be safe no matter what. She can have the ball on Rengar and he'll start off the fight with a good shockwave leaping from out of vision. So pretty good combo here from Curse so far. See what Complexity answer with.
I also like a pickup of Rengar in a situation with like Kog'Maw because then you have so much chaos that everybody has to target immediately when you really want to be looking for a Kog'Maw. There's so many things and variables to think about when you have that situation of invisibility and engagement.
It's a great team fight combo that they can have. They can start off a team fight pretty much whenever they want with that Rengar ult plus Orianna ult.
Oh my god.
Complexity though.
So much damage.
Complexity locking some early game here. And their comp is looking very solid for the opening of the game. Elise plus Renekton. Every time you have those two champions on your team, very strong early game. However, the changes in this patch have hurt Elise a bit. She really would not like to go Ancient Golem anymore because it's much more of a scaling item. And even the base health that you get off it has been lowered a lot. So it's not really that great until you go full tank late game. And a lot of people have been opting more towards that early game burst power, taking Elise back to the old school, going AP and spell penetration.
Well, last time these teams played, Rengar was banned out due to the situation of it wanting to be played. So it looks like Dominate gets his hands on what he wants there. Definitely looking for a late game here from Curse, though. So does Complexity make some moves? Do they use that pressure of the top lane to get Kez in other situations and start taking down Curse? It's going to be a very interesting matchup to start off Week 8 here after Super Week. All the teams are kind of shaking off any of the rust if there was any, and they're trying to bring the glory in for more wins. But before the shots start firing on the Rift, let's check out how you've been voting over on LOLesports.com. We can't leave you guys hanging there. And right now, Curse is leading with a 72% of the vote over Complexity.
But remember that you can also vote on Twitter by hitting us up at LOL Esports and use the hashtag COLWin or CRSWin, and change that up if you prefer the alternate team to win. Let's see here, though, because you talk about top lane pressure, but Gragas is actually one of the champions who now can hold his own against Renekton.
As we've seen.
Not said a lot for any champion trying to hold their own against Renekton, but Gragas is very strong in that situation, and he can bully most champions as well. So very interested to see how this plays out. A lot of it does have to do with the individual player skill, but I do like Gragas in this. He's quickly becoming one of my favorite top laners.
There's a lot of people that like Gragas because he can almost be played everywhere right now. He can go support.
As we just saw in that last one, Kerp
jungle
demonstrating the regeneration passive on Gragas is amazing. But he also has that percentage health damage, which is always good against brawlers, especially like Renekton.
Doesn't hurt to get that as well. Get it and give it. We're going to get into this matchup, though, Week 8, Day 1. It's going to be Complexity versus Curse as we jump on to the Rift. Looking at about a 30.5 maybe game time for these guys is what we usually see. They don't go too late, but they're not too early either. Both teams can see to give each other a hard time as it goes through the laning phase and then into the initial fight objective phase.
As it does go late, we've seen a lot of the Gragas players fall off because they're building very tanky, but really the general consensus on build for Gragas right now is oscillating back and forth constantly. Started out as heavy AP, then much more tank heavy, ended up on hybrid. Now a lot of people are going back to pretty much AP build. One of my favorites is the Rod of Ages into Lichbane.
Oh, so good.
Pretty strong now because the more tanky you build on Gragas, the more irrelevant you feel later in the game. But as long as you keep that extra scaling, adding in another AP ratio with a Lichbane, it feels like it keeps him relevant for that late game. And as long as you start Rod of Ages in the beginning, then you still feel semi-tanky and you can get in there and brawl. We'll have to see which way he goes, but that's pretty much my favorite build so far.
Definitely seen a lot of Gragas lanes push around other 2v1, not 2v1s, but those two-man ganks that you didn't think would go in his favor. Very interesting in that top lane now as we see more and more people start to use him. We got the Prowley versus the Voyboy in mid lane. That Ziggs versus Orianna matchup. Shouldn't see them canceling each other out. But
yeah, that is a farm fest if I ever seen one.
They'll have fun. Prowley's even rocking down on the biscuits too, so he'll be regenning mana as well with those potions. Same wards on both the top and the bottom side as we mirror for a standard start.
Yeah, I guess the most interesting thing about Orianna versus Ziggs is which player can actually get harassed off while pushing the wave, because both of them use Area of Effect to get CS early on. So if you can position yourself and get a hit on the minions plus your opponent, then that's always pretty much best case scenario for those two guys. Westrice taking the early shove here, though, in top lane, building up the Fury as he's supposed to. Got a full bar here, so that means 2 empowered abilities. Quas cannot get up to that minion line. And he's already on the back foot here.
Keep it just outside turret range. Perfect. It'll be all right for him.
The only risk with that for Renekton players is that Gragas is great at setting up ganks. And Renekton is going to be shoved far up in the lane. Even a Rengar pre-6, who is not the best of ganks, would be able to make something happen just because Gragas is so good at setting them up with the knockback and slow to follow up.
Slow is so big. Being able to even cut out a slice and a dice to get him to dodge that. Easy peasy gank if they decide it. Probably with a good push on Voyboy, you can see the same levels here, but that just to the back line bomb throw keeps getting Voyboy to use his mana on shields, and it's a little too late each time.
Yeah, missing the timing there on the shield is very big for Voyboy. You can see it hurting him in the health bar, so they call over Dominate. Try and help him out. Gets the slow.
What a great dissonance placement.
Good juke.
Very nice. Both sides well played. And it looks like they're going to be able to focus it. Back range Cocoon. The Ignite's not going to be able to come in. Prowley's rocking heal on this one.
Yeah. Whenever you do flash away from one of those skill shots, you got to flash a different angle. Good Cocoon there from Kez, but he did burn his flash for it.
Yeah. That was very aggressive. Both teams definitely thinking they could get a little bit more out of that.
Yeah, flash is traded, but you know, jungler flash for mid flash is usually worth it.
Especially for an Elise.
Since Elise has her own gap closer built in, not the biggest difficulty for him, but it is going to mean that Voyboy needs vision to lane now. That ward that Dominate placed in the upper river is just a trinket ward, so we'll run out very quickly here. And Voyboy needs to get some for himself, but he doesn't have enough money since he had to go back so quickly.
Yeah, hasn't even really had the CS either. He's kind of going for more harass than he is on the farm, down by half right now.
So yeah, definitely look for Kez to make a return trip to mid. Probably can Satchel Char's enemies closer into the lane. And no vision and no flash for Voyboy. Could be a dangerous situation. As of right now, though, Zig's continuing to push up. So it doesn't look like they will take advantage of it anytime soon.
Bottom lane continuing to push well. ROBERTxLEE and Bubbadub are putting a lot of pressure down here. Robert hitting multiple piercing lights on both Xpecial and Cop. And Dominate's, he's kind of struggling on where to go right now. He can't really help any of the lanes. He's just trying to get himself farmed up right now.
Yeah, pretty much all the lanes for Curse on the back foot for the opening of the game. Because Complexity, as we said, with the early game picks once again, which is something that is not new for them. You know, they had trouble at the beginning of the season. Relying on late game and relying on shot calling in the late game and late game strategy. So they just switched it up and they're like, okay, we're just going to pick all winning lanes and see what we do when we get an early lead. It has definitely been working out for them so far. They've picked up a lot more wins than usual.
Yeah.
But Curse, they knew coming into this with the Kog'Maw Braum that they would get pushed in early, especially. So he's just trying to keep up in CS and he's not losing too badly at the moment.
Nice W, getting a little extra damage down on Quas. See that lane going 40 to 34. Haven't really been back to buy yet in either of those lanes. Teleport's still up and safe. Haven't seen any jungler aggression. Still in the mid, and you can see it might be countered here. We have Dominate hovering. Really not much action as all the lanes are just kind of farming it out right now.
Yeah, and Dominate knows. He's like, I cannot make a difference in any of these losing lanes. I'm not that strong of an early ganker, so I need to get to 6. At that point, then he can actually turn a losing lane around. It's very dangerous for junglers in any situation to gank lanes that are losing at the time. However, once he gets level 6, he can make sure that there's no counter gank because of the way that Rengar's ult works. So that's what he's going for, trying to get to 6 really quickly. However, by the time he gets it, Cop is already down to 300 HP. He goes for it anyway, though. They're forcing it.
Oh, they get him out of the brush. Weren't able to see him just at the end. Bubbadub gets hit. That's going to be first blood coming in. They let it go to Cop. A very smart decision.
Yeah, great timing. Finally hit 6, even though Cop and Xpecial were harassed down. Going to the lane with really strong CC. Even with Xpecial not level 6, all it takes is the slow and stun proc there from Braum. Couple of flashes traded, and the Curse get the first blood. Gold lead back to dead even.
Great job getting complete.
Dominate just hit level 6, and you can see right there, stacked up to 5 Fury first. So he comes into the lane with an empowered ability, immediately jumps and lands the snare before Black Shield goes off. So Bubbadub had very little time to react, and even though he had a small second to react because you get the warning when Rengar comes, how do you choose which person to put the Black Shield on?
Right.
Rengar will just go for the opposite person since they're standing right next to each other. And he saved it to see if he would need to use it on the AD carry, but it was too little too late after Dominate had already joined the party there. So little that Complexity could do about that gank, and Curse right back to even.
Yep. Kez picking up Quill Coat for himself. Level 6 obviously not being as big for him as Dominate's was, but you can see in Dominate's mind, he knew being behind, he needed to make a gank instantly when that 6 happened. Now 8 minutes in, he's got a little bit of a lead.
Yeah, that is interesting actually. Going for the Ancient Golem still on Elise. Now, the Ancient Golem was nerfed once again in the base HP that it provides. This is the second time it's been taken down. So as soon as you get it, you don't get that big influx of defensive strength that you are used to getting. However, it does make you scale better because you do get the extra bonus HP. So if Kez is able to buy further HP items after completing it, then it will pay off for him. But man, for at least, usually relying a lot on the early game, a lot of people have not liked the changes to it. But we'll see how it works out for Kez. Maybe he will be the tank that they need in the late game.
Oh, it looks like they are putting consideration into a few more deeper wards right now. Dominate again.
Number
Pop
2.
on the ult, Kobe. It's going to be close.
Can they get the shockwave combo off?
Oh, they do!
can.
Wombo combo indeed. Served up just right. Look at Dominate. He's loving it.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you see this set of champions in Champion Select, you expect this to happen, but really, what do you do about it? Complexity not able to react quick enough. Dominate.
That was
First 2 ultimates
perfect.
used pretty much on cooldown and 2 kills secured. So this is going basically as well as Curse could hope for it to go. Comes in with red buff 2, and they're able to take the blue off of Probably. Look at the timing. Voyboy passes the ball over to Dominate, sucks Probably in as soon as he gets there. Just perfect coordination there between these guys. And you can tell, we said a lot of these guys, Dominate and Mediosa specifically, were practicing a lot of Rengar before the bug happened, but we never got to see it. All that work did pay off right there. Great timing by those guys, and another kill.
It's all for that one textbook move. Then we'll see it more times in the game. Only 400 gold lead coming in with those 2 kills right now. The CS has been very much so in favor of Complexity coming into this so far.
Yeah, but pretty much everybody else is sort of just waiting their turn for the Rengar gank. They're all like, okay, my lane is going to get pushed in a bit. We're fine. I'll just sit here and CSM my turret until Dominate decides to bless me with his presence and come give me a kill.
So far, he's done it for Voyboy. He's done it for Ka. He holds 2 assists for himself in that kill participation of 100%. Voyboy with a big clear. Pro players, the check on that bush, the percentage is going up.
Yeah, very profitable check there for Voyboy. Only had to walk halfway down the river. Gets a pink ward for his troubles.
Westrice being Renekton.
Oh, man, do I love the way Dominate's going with this build, by the way. I mentioned the early stacking of cooldown reduction.
Oh,
he is going very, very quick burst of cooldown here. So he's already stacking it up. That means he gets more empowered abilities. They do way more damage, and you don't even have to spend money on things like attack speed because you get your Qs back so often. It's basically like you have more attack speed, and they deal more damage as well. We'll see if he actually turns this Madreds into a flare, or if he decides to even just sell it later.
Very interesting separation of the bottom lane. Bubbadub able to get the safety, though. Kez pulled in. Let's see if they can get Curse into a false sense of security here. Special's not exactly the target. That's exactly what they wanted to have happen. They just slowly walk it in with the Soul Shackle. See what Cop can do with a Cathy, and surprise, not much true damage coming out of a level 7 Kog'Maw just yet. Whoa, the culling. He has a shield, no worries.
That confidence there from Complexity, though. They hit a binding and didn't rush into it. You can tell that Kez was just going to wait and bide his time. Kez was not going to jump the gun there and just go because they hit a binding. They expected the retaliation from Xpecial and baited it out perfectly. That was a very strong mind games there from Complexity, and they were rewarded for their troubles there. Kill onto Cop is very big for them. We said a lot of the Complexity wins come from ROBERTxLEE getting an early start. So getting that lane back to even is very big for this team.
Yeah, Robert really can carry in and out of the lane, already getting himself a lead with the help of Bubbadub in the bottom lane, really getting bush control. That hasn't been their #1 priority as they've been pushed up. We saw it almost cost them a little bit there as they countered nicely with Kez, and then it seemed that Robert's culling did not go off as soon as he wanted it. So we're going to get those bindings set up right quick. Get everything fixed up as we've got QC in there. So Complexity getting themselves back in the game a little bit, but each team, Curse and Complexity, making moves to keep themselves ahead in the game.
Yeah, I like this answer from Kez. It did take him a little bit longer to get rolling because Dominate, as soon as he hit 6, he was hitting to the lane, and then there was pretty much cleanup duty for Kez because
do you feel
Dominate
like you
always
have
got a
to
kill.
pressure a gank as soon as that happens and the other jungler successfully ganks?
I feel like when you are Elise, he should be the one making these first moves because he can make the moves before 6. And so Dominate spent this time, you know, he tried to make one thing happen early, didn't work out for them, and then he just went, okay, I'm not trying anymore. I'm farming until I'm 6. And it's a great plan for him. However, Elise has to make more things happen, has to try and interrupt that plan. So it's up to Elise, get some deeper vision down there. It's scary to go into a Rengar's jungle, though, because anytime you're around bushes, if they do collapse on you, you can't get away.
Yeah, you have an Orianna right there, long ball range for shield. good composition that Curse has put together, and Complexity seems to getting the lane farm out. I mean, they even blew Voyboy's flash earlier, and they didn't really return on that. So they're not kind of working out their advantages the Complexity has. Creating this one for themselves, we haven't seen too much at Dragon just yet, but the deep wards are coming out for Complexity, as we've seen just recently before the pause. So maybe those options are there for them soon.
Yeah, seems like Curse are content so far in the early game.
Oh yeah, they got Kog'Maw.
Oh.
They're good to go.
So, you speak of dragons, Riv. Complexity turned their kill bottom into the dragon.
Very nicely.
That's so much more gold for them than just the kill. So very strong conversion there. That was a very, very high potency gank from Kez.
I love play. 1,000 gold in the lead. You can see Dominate trying to thwart that gold by bringing in some return on investment for some ward kills. It's going to be an Infinity Edge for ROBERTxLEE first, the Phage into Sheen buy, which will be the Triforce for Cop. A little bit of safety and stats for him on that buy. It definitely means he's not trying to kill anybody right now. He wants that late game impact power. Quas putting out some good W damage.
Farm session mid. Both mid's going to get their blues. This is probably going to be both of them staying further back, though, and staying safe here. Probably has already been on the receiving end of one Rengar Shockwave combo, and he doesn't want another. So even with blue buff where he could shove, he'll probably be staying, halfway in that lane, just so he will be able to escape with a satchel charge when Rengar comes. Dominate was just hovering down bottom, but because this lane is pushing up, decides not to waste any more of his time down there and get right back to jungling.
Doesn't look like they'll be spending any more time top with the amount of pink wards both teams have. It's just these guys going at it, kinda. That's their version of going at it.
I'm just waiting for the Indiana Jones moment where Quas just shoots him in the face while he's twirling his blade.
Then tears his heart out.
Doesn't happen, no. Able to get that minion wave clear. That's actually a very strong power point for Gragas when he can clear the whole minion wave like that after his barrel ferments for a while on the ground. He's pretty much on track. He's got his Rod of Ages already, so Quas is on a very good pace here for this game, and it's because he's been playing so safe at his turret for most of the time, because Dominate did not want to grace him with his presence. A lot of attention paid down bottom, though. Simultaneous wards cleared out.
Haven't done much of anything recently on both sides. Seems like the attack of Complexity has slowed things down after they knew the dragon was down. There's really nothing to force another team into, or rather to force Curse into. Uh-oh. Perseverance.
See how this bullying goes for Westrice.
Wow.
Ooh, he has to exit the area, and Quas claims another pink ward. So he's actually at the point where he can bully Westrice out of lane now. It's no longer holding his own and being content. All right, he's going up there past that Renekton. Even with Westrice building some early magic resistance.
Yeah, saw that. He kind of, not even boots yet, he's piecing everything he needs to keep in the fight. He can slice and dice to safety if necessary.
Yeah.
Complexity.
Curse are well aware of Complexity's plan here. you guys are clearing out multiple wards at once. We know there's going to be bottom lane focus. Kez in the area, and Curse are able to sniff it out. See what Dominate decides to go for this time around with his next ultimate, because it will be very dangerous for him to go bottom with Kez waiting around so much for that counter gank.
Yeah.
If Rengar jumps in, he's very much all in when he decides to go for a jump. And if they don't burst down their target, jumping all in into a Lease Cocoon can be detrimental for your health.
Curse is completely ready to take over this game. Blue side wards
Oh,
ready
he's going
for
mid.
themselves. Slowly waltzing in.
And there's that passive play from Prawley.
Probably smells it. He knows something's going on. A little different play from Voyboy. The first time they did it, Voyboy changed nothing of his play. Continued to play a little bit aggressive with some defensive shield, and probably thought it was all peachy keen. This time a little bit too slow on it, and probably thought this is a little too quiet.
Yeah, but at this point, Dominate has so much cooldown reduction that he can use his ultimate very quickly again. So this one wasn't that bad to fail. When Rengar fails his first or his second,
Fails the what?
turn it down for Dominate. Gets the kill onto Kez here, though.
That's just the chase ability right now. Dominate feeling so strong with the rest
I
of the
just want to
team.
point out that he did a hop into this bush from the banana bush using the ward to hop to with an attack. Beautiful play there from Dominate. Pretty sure that's what he did anyway. Closed a lot of distance there. And then it was able to flash to the second bush. So yeah, there's no way he would have been able to close that much distance if he had not done that.
Making the plays.
Strong
Got two.
hopscotch there from Dominate. He's definitely put his time in on Rengar.
Oh my word.
No shockwave
Very
death
nicely.
though because of
Nope.
the old whiff last time around.
That's all right. At least there wasn't a sombrero.
Hey, they got the kill. So the difference here though is that since Complexity were able to turn their single kill into Dragon, there's nothing here for Curse to get
Ooh.
after that kill on the jungler. And Complexity are still ahead in gold because
Yep.
their kill translated into an objective. And Curse's kills have been purely bounty gold.
Here we go. Complexity feels safe enough now to finally get some deep wards. A pink ward. Very, very deep in. We also got teleports up for a 20-second dragon.
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh. Uh-oh. That's a heal right there. Probably took that because he knew he'd try to get assassinated over and over again. He's going to be down. Tries to do as much damage. I like that to Curse before the dragon. See if his team can hold it.
And because they knew summoners were already down,
Yeah.
Dominate doesn't even bother and throw out the snare. He went for 2 Qs right there just to bring him down that much quicker and get another kill. So even though, you know, Dragon went to Complexity, a lot of these stray kills being picked up for Curse. So once again, even gameplay here. No bounty has been stacked up yet either. Need to get that third kill before Complexity can answer something. Binding landing. No AD carry in the vicinity though. Robert already backing to get his second item. Infinity Edge already completed for him. So they lost out on the local gold. Yes, I've been waiting for this to happen in game, Riv. We call it out so many times. But when a tower goes down, you need to be in the area to get that local gold, or else your whole team just misses out on it.
Like walking past $5 on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. Where does that gold go if nobody's around to get it, Riv?
It. Man.
We're getting deep here.
I'm going to pick that.
Where does that gold go? It goes into the minions' clothes here for extra capes.
There you go. Somebody's got to do the laundry.
See what they can do after this bottom turret is gone, though, because Dragon back up now. The fight over vision is going to be very intense around here. Both teams very close, and they will have Shockwave Rengar combo once again.
I love this. Jump on me, he says.
Yeah. Dominant lane.
Oh, he's gonna. He's going to get it as soon as they wear off. Watch. He doesn't even hit one.
Well,
walking off
he got
the
a black
face.
shield plus missed the bolo.
They were baiting it out. Let's be
So I guess that bolo whiff doesn't really matter for Dominate. Black shield was there anyway.
Oh, that was, there we go. Red buff going over to Kaz. Hopefully giving them a little more utility here to catch up on some kills. I haven't seen Quas in a fight, but we also haven't seen Westrice in a fight. That'd be Dragon would be the perfect spot. Westrice will back, and we'll probably actually see him teleport down there as Complexity positions them.
Oh! Camera was on him for no reason, and he misses the cannon minion. That's heartbreaking. They also lose Dragon at the same time here. Curse with 0 Dragon control, not even looking like they're interested in Dragon control right now. Don't want to have to fight a Renekton. So since Complexity just got the Dragon, Westrice can use his teleport to go up top instead. Because they were able to secure that without him, and with 0 pressure from Curse, frees him up to get back to lane in time for that minion wave. He's very happy about that one, because it has been getting more and more dangerous for him up in the top lane. Again, though, another gank here from Dominate. Probably's pretty close. Oh, they got 3 people. Back off. Yeah.
I was like, we don't have the vision, but I'm sure he's turning around right now.
Yeah, if you ever dive too deep with a Rengar, then it's all your own fault, because you do get vision of everyone around here. And Complexity gonna push this lead here. Great objective focus here from Complexity. Dragons
they're moving.
plus all of the turrets. They've really used, yes, they picked the earlier game team, but they use the earlier game team effectively. They haven't been overreaching. The only mistakes have been, you know, people getting caught out for those kills, which aren't giant mistakes that have cost them that much. So great early gameplay here from Complexity.
Wow. Even getting into the base of the side of Curse now, able to clear out their own deep pink wards, which they should be able to secure as it is their jungle. Voyboy trying to return a little bit of vision control there, as we see just under mid lane. The items starting to come out in everybody's inventory. It's getting pretty big.
Yeah, you know, Dominate going with this build that I think Cacao probably popularized first in OGN a while ago with the heavy cooldown reduction and just holding on to that Mad Dreads. Now, Dominate has not even gone with a gold generation item for the jungle, so his gold generation a little bit lower, but he's been ganking a lot more often. So he's not losing out too much on it. And if you actually sell Mad Dread's Razor back, it's one of the most efficient items in the game to sell back to the shop. You get 70% of your gold back if you sell that off late game. So some people would just wait on it for a very long time, sell it off late game when you need another slot, and build really tanky cooldown reduction Rengar. He's already got Magic Resist Aura for his team, which is always great against Ziggs. Yeah. Just because AoE magic damage, but also because, you know, the Elise and Morgana.
Seeing this Quas versus Westrice play out in the Gragas Renekton lane. Definitely like what I'm seeing from the Gragas. Quas playing it very strong. Yeah. Always know he's been a versatile player, bringing out the Aatrox, bringing out a lot of different stuff. Seems to be making the Gragas work.
Yeah, and he is going with the more AP-oriented build that people have been favoring, just because feeling like when you go too much tank, then you feel like you really fall off later. We'll see where he decides to branch out with this build from here on. But so far, it is definitely working for him, holding up against that Renekton.
Seems like the AD carry's moving out. Scrying Orbs have just been picked up. They know the laning phase is pretty much over. About to be
Shockwave combo.
That's a lot of complexity. Has those dashes, those jumps, the slice and dice, or the repel to get out. But they got to be careful. That catch-up that Curse has still, it counts, and they can get back onto you quite quickly. Great dodge, though, by Complexity.
Yeah, I mean, you got to compliment the reaction there from ROBERTxLEE, but also
fast pursuit.
Going for that combo on Lucian is very risky anyways. So Curse, they thought they could catch Robert sleeping, but were unable to, and he has the quick fingers, enabling him to get out of it. See what they're able to do with this, though, because 2 bottom turrets down, they do rightly take control of this blue side jungle. So Complexity making a lot of strong calls here so far, but Curse already trying to answer. See how Westrice reacts to this, because Complexity know that Curse are trying to do something, and Westrice defensively wards the try up here by his turret, but it looks like Curse aren't going for the dive anyway. Great call to shove up mid here from Complexity.
Very passive.
They make him pay for stealing this blue back. Yeah. So blue buff for a mid-second turret here. No. Everything going, as far as the objectives are concerned, going for Complexity.
The aggression right at the end of that turret, at the last bit of your minions. The last moment you have to get shots on it. And that's the time that Complexity pulls off. 1:30 on Dragon. They've had full control on that, which has given them the 3,000 gold lead. They're down in kills. Dominate has been all over the map trying to secure that for his team. But Complexity is gaining the map pressure.
Yep, he does see his blue has been stolen. See if they can hold this mid. They've got a Ziggs with a blue buff, so should be able to even hold on to their turrets here. Probably also has his ultimate. So even if Cop pushes down that bottom lane very quickly and they rotate down bottom, there's a Ziggs ulti ready. So Complexity pretty much have all the answers right now for any Curse retaliation. And it looks like Curse do not want to overextend because they know that not much was expended by Complexity with their early mid shove there. Pretty much it was just great map movements from Complexity that got them this lead. They didn't have to use teleport, didn't have to use that Ziggs bomb either.
There it is.
He walks right by.
I was just going to say.
I was going to say nobody walks through that bush, but he did walk through the bush.
I was going to say that's a great word because nobody walks into it too. We think alike. But apparently,
even when they do walk into it, they don't expect there to be a peek.
You got to stub your toe on it, I guess.
Oh, man.
So that's a great ward to place, FYI.
Yeah, I mean, look at the vision that Complexity have. They have both sides of the jungle completely
It's like a
covered.
light bright down there.
Yeah, it's very strong mid-game control from Complexity. Now, that being said, this team will fall off if they don't continue to make moves, but so far, they've been making the right calls.
Oh, my word. CC after CC. Yeah, the right calls, and they're still in the face of Curse. They're kind of just hovering all over what Curse wants to do.
And they're going for the Dragon once again. Let's see, teleport available
Curse
for both top laners. But Curse very hesitant again. They have Rengar ulti too. Rengar plus Shockwave, both available. But Curse's Dragon control has been non-existent this game. And with the increased gold of Dragon, this is a very poor game plan, actually. A lot of people have been saying you can't give these up anymore because there's such a big global gold lead for the team that controls the early Dragons. It's really hard to come back from, and you really need a mistake from the team that has been controlling this many Dragons if you do want to come back. Even though Curse do have that great, late game combo that they could pull off. We'll check back in too with this Elise build because, as we said, when you buy further HP items, that Ancient Golems definitely goes up in value. And since he's gone with the Sightstone, he's definitely getting some benefit from it. So not only the extra wards here for Kez for complexity, but he is also getting very tanky.
Now, what's Quas's option as he comes to this? Does he become an effective split pusher? Does he join the team as they start to move up more? What can he keep doing?
Yeah, he's been content up here just to hold Renekton, and now he does have a level advantage too. Once he joins the team, he can actually split people up, and he'll have a bit more utility than Westrice. But we'll see how this build works out for him because he is going a little bit more tanky now. Pretty much all focusing on magic resistance. A lot of this Curse team, almost all of them, focusing pretty hard on magic resistance. We'll see if that bites them in the butt when Robert comes through with the Infinity Edge Static Shiv, which, by the way, I love on Lucian, just because of the interaction of the items.
Such a pop.
I'm sure everybody's aware. Talked about it too much already.
We had a whole week on Lucian and his items.
Ooh, Voyboy didn't pull the Shockwave this time because he was expecting the dodge from Robert. Black Shield is blown as well, but no minion wave. Curse can't do much with it. Another, Cop getting pincered.
Oh, none of the slow hits. Oh, everything hits just at the wrong time or stops him just at the right time, depending on whose team you're in there for. And he gets out safely. Doesn't even have to blow. No, he did blow Flash coming out of that. Dark Binding comes out one last time. They might just disengage and head back down towards the mid lane here, but it looks like Complexity is actually going to feel comfortable taking over as they get a few wards down.
Yeah, Complexity, they want to continue to control the objectives of the map, just because they have had such a strong early and mid game, and they are keeping up their vision. The key is going to be when they have to pull the trigger to have Westrice teleport in, because their hard engage has to come from a skill shot or from a Westrice flank. Westrice has to teleport in, or Westrice has to be there for a dive. Without him, they have a very hard time of forcing a fight unless a random binding lands.
All right, back to the line. Can they get on ROBERTxLEE? That's really the question here. Yes, they can. The Shockwave goes down in a very clustered fight. It looks like Curse is able to come out on top. The teleport from Quas on the backside. And we don't see the teleport coming out of Westrice. He's stopped his, and he's staying in the top lane. Cop with the shield. Artillery again. Cop comes up very big with another all shot.
Great chase there from Curse. Quas decides to teleport in. Westrice still up in the top lane. I think his teleport was either interrupted or he just decided to cancel it because Complexity got caught. But regardless, great shove from Curse.
Yeah.
They get back 2 objectives after those kills, and their patience pays off. As I said, they're waiting for the mistake from Complexity. Complexity got a little bit too far up, and Robert gets caught out. So let's see what happened here with this teleport exchange, because Quas comes out way ahead. And since he joined with his... Westrice just cancels his, I guess. Yep, he just manually cancels it.
He doesn't even have the wave there yet.
Well, it's because
Proxy.
It's because at that point, Robert was dead. So there was no way that they could salvage this. Quas a little late there with the flash ulti, by the way, but there was no way they could salvage that fight with Westrice teleporting in. So he wanted to get something out of a bad situation and get top pressure. No, they did get 1 turret for it in exchange. But yeah, that's pretty much the way that Complexity are going to be losing team fights if Robert does get hit up by that combo.
Well, we know Quas is always going to be there. He's thrown a Thorn Mail on here as his third item to come in to make sure ROBERTxLEE does not have anybody fun to shoot. He can try to get to the rest of the team members, but I'm pretty sure Quas is going to be in his face immediately. Looking around the board with 1 minute coming up onto Dragon. I've seen Bubbadub trying to actually build that needlessly large rod into something for quite some time. Looking at Azania's, if he can get it finished up, it's going to be very hard for the other team, for Curse to get to ROBERTxLEE. Doesn't seem like it stopped them before. Just before everything happened, Complexity with such a big lead. 2 Dragons in a row, 2 complete Curse Blues in a row. But they were only hovering around mid the whole time. They were never getting anything from Curse, as in kills, or extra money from them. One chance Curse gets, they're able to turn the game around.
Well, yeah, Complexity were trying for that shove mid. They
Right.
just have to play it more careful. They do have the tools for disengage. I mean, they've got Morgana, and they have Ziggs, which
Yeah.
are fairly difficult to dive on.
Whoa.
Whoa here. Westrice full tank, though. He's in position. This is... Curse are going to have to back off. They're just trying to force a fight. Dominate used his ulti already. He has no jump to re-engage this, and Robert is almost there. Curse ran out of time.
Great damage from Kez, getting a little bit of free stuff from the side there. Great dodge on Winter's Bite as well. Not really working out here for Curse. They decide to call off of this. Their dragon pressure to pull Complexity in is now not working. They lose mid turret.
Got a nice sneak there from Robert to get one more turret down. And they swing to Dragon.
What a bluff call.
Whoa, let's see if they bait this, though, because it would actually be stronger for them to catch a good fight here on Curse. Probably if he's able to mine off this corridor and Curse force their way through. Curse don't even force their way through, though. They don't even want to try and get past the Ziggs to fight Dragon. It's probably the better call there. Complexity to get 2 objectives for none for Curse with their failed Baron attempt here. But as we've seen already, Curse have the tools at their disposal to go for these fights even down in gold.
Very, very close. See if Complexity can push
Great
this down the
positioning.
mid line now.
Oh, here comes the flank from Rengar.
Right onto PrOLly. That's going to leave ROBERTxLEE free to shoot. ROBERTxLEE gets pushed back. He's now by himself, exactly where they want 80 carry, but Quas cannot get on him. Focus is now into Dominate. Oh! And Shockwave that's going to turn the fight around. Kez gets slowed. He can't re-enter. PrOLly takes too many steps down the rabbit hole, and he gets taken down. It's now 1-for-1, but it looks like Curse is walking away from this one bleeding.
Woo.
They do save the base, though.
Yeah, 3 members blinking red right there for Curse. Complexity almost able to take that fight, but they have to give up the pressure that they had. Another blue steal for them. So much control over this bottom side of the map for Complexity, pretty much all game long. However, they did not get much damage down on that inhibitor turret. Let's take another look. So he goes for PrOLly first this time around Dominate. Not a lot of damage to back up the initiation there.
That's
Ultimate
great.
from Quas,
Shockwave.
yeah, to knock everybody aside. Here we go, 4-man, yeah, 4-man Shockwave. 2 people flash out, and PrOLly goes for the kill. So maybe if they had stayed with PrOLly, the threat of their flashes to get to that backline, Voyboy and Cop would not have been able to add any damage. Little bit maybe miscommunication there for Complexity in that team fight. It was very close, and they just barely came out behind. So if they had all stuck together, might have been able to pull it out in a better situation, but
it's one of those everybody going in on a crazy call.
Yeah, exactly. Quas was the
needed.
only person that they could not have killed. He was right in the middle, though.
Nice try for the Mega Inferno Bomb clear top. Not enough to get Cop pushed out of the turret, even with a few shots to the face. He's 2-1-2 at 293. He's about 50 CS behind ROBERTxLEE right now in the whole grand scheme of things. But he does have the items he needs to start hitting harder. Going for the last Whisper as well, when we've seen a lot of Phantom Dancers or Infinity Edges come in there.
Yeah, a lot of people, especially for Kog'Maw and Corki, have been just saying how inefficient it is to buy a 3rd item, Last Whisper.
Right.
If you don't have those attack damage dealing spells. If you're doing a lot of magic damage with your spells, Phantom Dancer
Get that crit.
be more important, you know? Or Infinity Edge there 3rd. But yeah, picking up that Last Whisper, he will be able to cut through some armor of Westrice if he's forced to hit the front line.
Cop no longer buys Infinity Edges. It's a nightmare.
Oh yeah? Yeah,
Too many memories. Too many memories.
He's gonna
You get one and then you have 4 somehow.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, just get crazy there.
Let's see where they can move from here. Curse definitely has a bit of, I'd say, the momentum lead, even being down 4,000 gold. I think it's one of the things we said in the beginning is somehow they're able to come back from behind quite well.
Well, the thing is, with a lot of the earlier towers being taken by Complexity, Curse had a lot of gold that they could quickly make up once they won that first team fight. that first team fight that they won was really, really big for Curse because they got 2 towers out of it. A bunch of global gold, as well as a whole bunch of opened up map pressure for them. That was able to keep them through the mid game.
Yeah.
They will need another one of those, though. Complexity still have the vision advantage with deep jungle wards. Kog'Maw scaling up pretty nicely, though. Regardless of whatever items you buy, he still scales up very strong towards that late game.
It's going to be the slow mid stalemate now. You have the Ziggs, you have the Voyboy on Orianna. Not too much pushing is going to happen unless someone gets caught. Now they're just letting Curse Cop ramp up. See if he can get there soon enough. Got the Zhonya's finished onto Bubbadub. Plays can be made, but that's more for protection of the back line. We see Dominate trying to get himself there. A split push now from bottom lane in Westrice. See if it holds Quas.
Yeah, and I have to wonder, how dangerous is it to have a split push if you are Complexity? Because a Rengar Orianna combo can come at you at any moment. He can just run straight down the lane at you.
Right.
And if Curse make that pick, then Complexity have a very hard time of coming back from it. Because Complexity really do a lot better if they are sieged up, defending a turret or something like that. They have great siege as well as siege defense. If they get picked off, though, away from turrets, then it'll be a lot more difficult for them. See how well Bubbadub can protect Robert, though, and help him peel. Last time around, Dominate did not even go for Robert.
No, he didn't.
Oh, here, let's see who he goes for this time. Trying to pick off the straggler here. There is a pink ward he wants right through.
Oh, watch the ball. All right. I like that they wait. Voyboy and Dominate definitely have a synergy in keeping that range of the ball on. It's very easy to have him jump just outside of your ball range and not be able to ult.
Yeah.
Good communication between those two. Unfortunately, not able to activate anything in the mid lane. 7-2, as their kill pressure is definitely something that Complexity is thinking about. Complexity's only been able to find 2 kills, as you can see on the top of the board, with being able to go all the way almost second-tier turrets.
Robert under vision, gonna try and solo this. Dominate's right here, though. No ultimate, so he can't go for the kill.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Fighting off a little more than they can chew on this one. Complexity could get themselves into some danger here.
Yeah.
Voyboy on the backside, he'll be able to bring the utility, the speed up, and the shield if necessary, and they start to engage even more. Still coming from the backside is Bubbadub and the rest of the team.
Ooh, backline got hit. Oh, Bubbadub!
Oh, the Zhonya's goes on. That means they have time to make some moves. Quas and Dominate go in as the Bass brothers, but it's going to be Dominate going down first. All eyes on the Cop and Quas and Xpecial now. Cop still trying to get himself some shots into the fight away from the back line, but somehow Complexity has turned this coast-to-coast back and forth
Westrice
in their
gets
favor.
the
Can't get the W on, cannot get the lockdown hit, and Cop's able to throw out enough Void Ooze to trip up Complexity for the rest of the engage. 40 minutes in, Complexity now seems like they've taken the lead.
Yeah, it looked like Complexity were split up, because their team was in 2 separate sections. 3 members down by the Dragon, and 2 members trying to join. However, only 3 members of Curse were actually being able to do damage as well.
Yeah.
And Complexity kite them back very nicely. Probably hits the back line of Curse with his Ziggs ultimate as well. So Quas comes in.
That looks
Barrel
scary
ultimate
right there.
gonna hit him the wrong way because of the dash. If that dash doesn't get off in time, or Quas saves his ultimate to hit after the dash, then this is a completely different story. Then they burst everything onto Kez here. The Braum ulti only onto Kez tank Elise, and they're not able to lock him down. So Complexity kite long enough for Bubbadub to pull off a masterful flash initiation with Morgana.
Yeah.
The support Morgana who completed the Zhonya's already. A lot of support Morganas don't even go with that item, but it really just turned the tides there for Complexity. Paid off for them. That plus the Probably ulti hitting the backline of Curse really turned around that fight for them.
Playmaking supports and playmaking teams. Curse gets a little tunneled into their dragon chase, we see. Maybe feeling a bit too comfortable in the position they had in the game, but now Complexity is feeling a bit of that momentum. Hitting 400 CS in quite a few lanes, quite a few champions right now as this game is going for the long haul. Longest matchup between these two teams was their last one in week 6 at 57-18.
Ooh, and we have double Banshee Veils on the back line of Complexity now. This is huge because the power of Dominate with this Rengar build does not come from himself. Mostly it comes from bringing in the ball, bringing in the shockwave, and trying to lock people down for Cop to actually hit. Most of the damage here on this Curse team is Cop's. Dominate, yes, he's got all this cooldown reduction for multiple snares and for a heal if he needs it. However, he doesn't have the damage that you're expecting from the Assassination Rengar. So he's all about creating the fights for his team and the positioning to try and keep complexity in an area and have Cop do the damage and Voyboy do the damage. However, that has not been the case for them. Since the beginning of the game, we haven't seen a very good Shockwave combo with Dominate getting into position. And now that the two Banshee's Veils are there, it becomes very difficult for Curse to pull off their combo.
I just realized how good that champion of Orianna and Rengar work together. It's a cat. It's a ball of yarn, kind of. It's almost perfect. It's almost perfect. Dominate wants that every second he can get it. We'll see Voyboy clearing out Wraiths. Always need to get the Wraith camp when it's up and catch some bombs. 43 minutes in, both teams really testing each other here to the max. And both teams really want to be able to climb up from the bottom of the standings. Like we said, Curse are 3-1 out of Super Week, so they are really on gear to break the curse that they usually have for themselves throughout each season.
We'll see if they can. I think one of the big things to look at for Curse is Quas, because he's the one soloing versus Westrice in the bottom. If he could get an edge on Westrice, either go... At this point, you probably have to go Void Staff if you want to get an edge on Westrice, but if he skips the Void Staff and goes to Lichbane, then he'd be more effective against Robert if he could ever get in place to actually do damage to Robert, which is what he wants. So it's an interesting choice posed to Quas right now. Does he actually... No, there it is. The answer is already Void Staff. So he's building more for fighting Westrice than he is for going for a team fight and going for that lucky kill onto Robert. Because if he had a Lichbane, then the kill onto Robert would be more easy. But Void Staff, all around safer purchase for him. It's always a great last item to pick up for any AP. It's going to help him a lot in his 1v1 with Westrice. We'll see if this item actually turns the tide.
Yep.
Because it is a pretty crucial pickup for him. He could still sell the Morellonomicon and get Lichbane, but that is definitely a ways off for the Curse team.
Long game problems, man.
All right, he pops it. Still having a hard time getting through that chunky Renekton. Oh, no. He's looking to bully it.
It seems like he's winning a bit.
Yeah. The Void Staff makes a big difference. Oh, actually, even against Robert, Void Staff is way better because...
Hit me.
The spell penetration, magic penetration, works for your Thornmail too.
That's right. Return damage.
So Thornmail will hit harder for Robert.
Today, some people learned.
Magic damage.
7-3. The flash into Xpecial. We'll see if they can get the kill down. It's going to be keep going. Voyboy gets the culling on him pretty hard. Westrice is still trying to get to the back line. They're all over Cop, but Cop's got free shots now. There's a whole lot of just being thrown around right now. What the heck? Westrice staying alive. Dominate and Cop are still in perfect positioning. He is definitely too close. Westrice has been able to slice and dice at least 3 times in this fight. It has gone so long. A great job by Kaz. Cop's still staying alive. One last shot. A few more for Westrice. The Acathian surprise. If nothing will take him down. And Cop is going to stay alive in the fight along with Quas, the ace to complexity at 45 minutes.
The Curse! Get the ace on complexity, and they turn their eyes towards Baron. They've got percentage health damage. They've got plenty of time, so this will be a Baron for Curse. Woo! Big win right here. Let's take a look at how this team fight actually plays out.
They thought they had Voyboy.
Yeah.
What a move by Xpecial and Voyboy's flash.
Yeah, Xpecial takes the brunt, but Voyboy sticks around for a while because of the Zhonya's.
Yep.
And Cop is firing this whole time, even though he gets hit by the Dark Binding. Complexity's 2 tanky members stay around for a long time. Voyboy is way too close. He was trying to get damage onto Brawley there, but Cop. Let's see how Cop comes up big in this late game. He flashes over the wall away from Kez. Kez actually even cocoons after Cop already flashes over the wall. So not only did Cop flash in for the kill, he avoids the CC.
Flash.
He relies on Quas to come in with the flash body slam for the kiting, and he just runs barely out of range for Westrice.
I don't know how they do it. Curse again down in gold. Pull out a very tight fight against Complexity. Still down in gold even after the fight. Somehow up in kills and somehow ready to keep going. Voyboy moving the ball, but a little too far from behind him.
Who got Baron buff though? I think it's only 3 members of Curse came away with Baron buff.
If even 3, there were only 2 of them alive.
Well, Xpecial has it, and Quas and Cop were the ones who killed it, so 3.
Oh, you're right. Yep. Okay.
So 3 members here of Curse going to be wearing it. See if they go for a steal. No. There's Smite there. All right, so
can't take a cat's food.
now that they've got Kog'Maw with Baron buff, plus Infinity Edge has been added into the build, very, very big boost of power for Curse. Can they actually siege up, though? If they do go for the siege, they still have to worry. You saw how long it takes for them to take down anyone from the front line of Complexity. So really, it's going to be on Quas. Can Quas get a displacement on someone from the back line?
I'd be surprised if we get a siege. How many fights have we even seen at a turret this game? Everything has been out in the open. Probably hasn't even really been able to use Ziggs other than just throwing everything on top of himself to not get jumped on.
The thing is, there's nothing on the map to draw Complexity away from turrets. Complexity, if they're thinking about this game clearly, they should not be out on the map to be able to get picked off.
Yeah.
So, Dragon's down, Baron's down, they should be turtling right now. So that's really the only option open to Curse is go up to a turret and siege because there's nothing else on the map for them to take right now. No Barons, no Dragon, no buffs. So they go for the 4-1. Actually, they're not even. They're just going to shove all lanes here.
This is the spread and push. That's all it is. They really haven't decided on what to do just yet. Trying to stay careful with Cop up here. Xpecial's like back and forth. He's like, what way are you going? I need to protect you. You're so far away from me right now.
All right, now they condense into the 4-1 push. Quas, as we said, with that Void staff pickup, we've seen him already start to push around Westrice. So the question is, can Quas push him around enough to take the bottom turret himself while the 4-member squad of Curse keep Complexity up at the top turret? Or is this 4-man squad going to actually have to shove in and get damage on this turret? Because that is hard, and they have to worry about cocoons and bindings constantly being thrown out over and over. Quas is trying for it.
Oh my god.
He's trying to push him around on the turret.
Such a beast. Just grabbing the brush.
He got a few hits on there. So really they are banking on Quas to be the one who's going to get the advantage. If it stays 1 versus 1, then he will slowly get that turret.
Really great play by him this game as well. We've seen a lot of Gragas play lately, and it's just been getting better as players learn how to use the new Gragas. New patches.
He's upgraded to Death Cap instead of the Morellonomicon as well. Not going for Lich Bane.
Well, you're not getting super heals on anybody. You still get the damage all out through the fight.
That's a really interesting question, at least, because in the late game, you almost always think, oh yeah, Death Cap is much better. But Gragas now doesn't have the best AP ratios, and if he's going to be trying to get these turret hits, maybe the Lich Bane would have been better. Xpecial takes a large amount of harass. Now, them being pushed off means that Quas has to play more careful because that frees up the rest of this 4-man team. He's really got his mind set on this turret, though, and he's getting that work done.
See, even how big he is right now, at half health, Westrice knows it's not a full fight yet.
All right, so the rest of Curse is backing off. That means Quas, you got to back off here. You don't even have vision, so okay, there we go. He does back off. He got a decent amount of work done on the turret, though.
That was a lot of time that Curse didn't get much. You're right, they did get a little bit out of that. If they can return to the same thing, they got it. So
the reason,
they're kind of favor. So
whenever you are pushing like this, split pushing, make sure that you're in constant communication with the rest of your team, because if they let up and they are not shoving the other side of the map and forcing the team to defend up there,
you're going to find more friends.
You need to run away.
Well, it looks like Westrice doesn't have a partner to play with anymore, so Quas got the idea. Gold pretty close now, only 1,000 behind for Curse. They've done a great job at keeping themselves very close in that aspect. And it looks like everybody's just about got those 6 items under their belt. Looking at a needlessly large rod onto Prolly as he finishes that up into most likely Azania's. And we're going to be off and running. ROBERTxLEE has actually been 6 items for quite some time, sitting on his Zerker Führer boots, where pretty much that last upgrade that he got. So anything past that, we're going to be seeing Mercurial Scimitars and what have you.
That's the fun stage of the game. Dominate just checking for people, by the way. He's looking for picks. His ult is on such a low cooldown right now that it is worth it to pop your ult just to see if there's a stray member of Complexity going for a ward that you can catch out. Quas going for it. He's not even waiting for that tank wave. Boom! Gets it. Work done. However, they still have a lot of work ahead of them because the inhibitor turret's much harder to take down because you're much closer to the base and it's easier for Complexity to rotate.
You can see the Complexity almost knows as well Quas isn't getting anywhere past that inhibitor turret, so they feel comfortable now to push as long as he can teleport.
Quas is actually juking Westrice? Oh, okay, so he's just recalling here. However, let's see if Curse can pull off the hard engage, because as soon as Quas recalls,
I was gonna say,
Complexity have to worry about, again, still, the Rengar plus Orianna combo. Don't want to get caught up by that hard engage.
Let's see what Complexity has. Do they have as sufficient of a split push as Curse was just bringing to the table? Complexity is actually up to the inhibitor turrets right now. Curse was actually sitting at tier 2s. Doesn't look like they have too much. They are going to try to pressure this bottom half of the map with Baron being down for another 30 seconds. The map is completely objective-free in that sense, so it's time to have some fun in the lanes.
All right, watch the Banshees game now. Banshees down on Robert. That's pretty big.
Oh.
The one on Quas, not so much, because he is going to be frontline anyway.
A lot of bubbles trying to pop. There's one.
That lag again.
Yeah.
Robert.
Ooh, good damage coming out of Cop there. You can see his Infinity Edge is finished. Oh, the Shockwave Sombrero onto Dominate.
Xpecial secondary engage
Mega
though.
Inferno to the backside.
They still have Braum
ulti. A Banshee's Veil. Not going to do too much damage there. The turret looks like it will take sufficient damage here within the next few shots. Good focus by Cop. Westrice trying to get in, may take too much. And this one more re-engage here as the minion wave is just a bit off. We're going to have both objectives alive.
Watch that green glob that comes out of Cop too, because if he gets that on Westrice, it's very big for the team. It shreds a lot of MR and armor.
Glacial Fissure, ooh, splits the divide on that one. They turn around, Dominate's getting hit up. That Soul Shackle's very nicely placed by Bubbadub, so they cannot get to the back line. Dominate takes a regular jump out of the brush. Can Quas get into range? This would be a great explosive cast. Can't do much. Xpecial looks for help, but he throws up his own shield as he rips it off his back for safety. 12-6 at 54 minutes in. Curse is looking to back now as Complexity has the upper hand.
These fights, 53 minutes in, nobody even dies in them. The biggest thing that happens is that Banshees get popped. All right, Dragon gonna go over to Complexity though. I do want to point that out again though, because something that Cop has been consistently doing, I gotta point out the small things that he does in the fights.
Hit us.
As Kog'Maw, you're like, yeah, I do so much damage from range late game. I'm the main focus of the team. I need to watch my positioning, and I need to try and take down high-priority targets. The other thing that's great about Kog'Maw is the shred that he gets from his Q. And Cop is consistently landing it on Westrice. And Westrice has built full tank, so that's very, very effective skill use here from Cop. He's playing Quap to practice
run
up.
all funny.
That's how you play Kog'Maw. You had to practice with Quap because you have to worry about your positioning there and moving those short legs.
Imagine if that's how you had to use this.
Gone off the rails, Riv.
We're back on. Back on.
All right, get the train back on here. Let's see if they return to split push, because Quas was having a lot of success with his split push, and there is still an outer turret left standing for Complexity.
Man, we are getting up in CS this game. Everybody's doing what they can to pretty much not fight, it seems. They're like, as long as we're not fighting and we're CS, and I think we're winning. Seems to be the priority here.
These Banshee ward wars are hilarious to watch.
Bubble popped on ROBERTxLEE, advantage Curse.
Bubble, bubble.
Don't do it.
Cop doesn't have his.
Bubble, Cop. Oh, you got him! ROBERTxLEE, relentless pursuit, but it doesn't matter. He gets chewed up from Cop. The authority is laid down. Bubbadub goes for a ride. He's going to get locked up as well. He goes gold, but it's only going to be for so long. Voyboy finishes it off with the Lady of Clockwork as they start to move down the mid lane.
They gotta take something here. At least inhibitor turret.
Over
Looks like they're going to go for it.
On those clocks.
They can actually tank up this inhibitor turret. Xpecial might be the one to do it. They're going to vote for Quas.
That'd be good. Quas
with the shield on him. 2 members down. And that's the importance of those Banshees, though. Robert does get caught this time.
Oh my gosh. So
you keep throwing out the Rengar Ori combo. because of the situations like that. It pays off. When it pays off big. 30 seconds, can they shove and end the game?
Man, I think being down in gold is an advantage for teams lately. They're usually the ones coming out with the win. Westrice taking shots from COP. The Bio Arcane Barrage is shredding through Westrice's HP. Gonna see if they can still hold this position. They have 20 seconds on both ROBERTxLEE and Bubbadub. Definitely playmakers for the team, but they're gonna stay strong, Kobe. This isn't looking good.
Looks like they've bought enough time. 10 seconds left for Robert to come back.
Oh,
Dominate goes down.
Dominate gets stuck up. Beautiful lockdown by
Now they have to
Test
worry about the retaliation Baron.
Baron, yep.
Curse overextended, trying to end the game is so risky. The Baron is for the the Westrice.
Westrice going in. He says, no way. Let's tango. 4v1. He's a gator, but he's going to be made into a pair of shoes.
Shredded. Alrighty, well, the retaliation Baron no longer on the table for Complexity because of that little stunt.
Oh, is it? Is it?
I guess it's on the table, but it's on the edge of the table. It's teetering. It's about to fall over.
Rip the cloth off the table.
They're going for it. They can actually do it really quickly. Okay, still on the table.
Oh
Looks
my
like they're
gosh.
going to take it as well.
Cop!
Westrice was all a mind game there.
Cop's not going to try.
Westrice sacrifices his life for the Baron. We'll call it a sacrifice.
What is going on? 57 minutes. We literally just passed the longest time these two teams have played as in week 6. That was 57-18. So let's go for the long haul here. Could be going for another hour-long matchup.
Oh,
both teams
yeah. We hit the
90,000 gold.
We hit the point for selling boots and buying Zephyr.
Nice.
For
That's
Cop,
what I like
at
to
least.
see. Cop's been coming out huge. 6-1 and 6 his Kog'Maw games. Been pretty on point, and he's hit more living artilleries on just the edge than I can really count.
He's been playing beautifully. The flash over the wall around Dragon to secure that mid-game fight was huge for Curse to get them to this point. Now, though, it's really all about the small moves in your team fight. It's Baron advantage to Complexity, but super minions for Curse. Whoa, this is very dangerous. Vision control for Curse, but they only got 3 members into this bush beforehand. If you go for one of these death bush strategies, then you need to have all 5 members there, or else you can't take advantage. And they have to pull out because not everybody able to get there in time.
That's full alert on that.
Time for defense.
Ward's coming down. And Bubbadub's going to keep the team safe because they seem like they'll have a front run down the mid lane. You're going to have to wait for a back here from Cop and Quas. They should be able to get back in time. Finally, we get to see Complexity at a turret. Let's see what their siege capabilities are.
It's actually very hard for them to go for this.
Right.
Because siege minions are going to be coming out the entire time. Maybe it will be safer for Complexity to just kill off these waves, not overcommit to this turret. Yes, they do have Baron buff, but still, Curse are such a hard time to dive in on. They would love if you dived in on them. They've got Braum, they've got Gragas. Oh, so much kiting potential here for Curse. If you run through, it's really easy for Voyboy to set up shockwaves as well. So Complexity, really, really difficult for them to make anything happen at a inhibitor turret here. And the 5 Banshee Veils for Curse mean that even the cocoons and bindings have lost most of their effectiveness.
This feels like a few splits ago when the games would go really, really long. A patch hits, the teams try to adapt, and then you get back to this 60-minute time where teams hardly ever are when closing out the game is that one single fight that you're hardly ever prepared for, because how often do you experience that?
Yeah.
And then the teams fall into it again, and nobody wants to commit to that fight they think will be the end of the game. When everybody's playing not to lose, it takes a long time.
You don't practice, what do we do at 60 minutes?
Right.
Because everybody, if you start losing a scrim that badly, people just end the scrims. Uh-oh, Dominate again. He's looking for anybody to pick off. Doesn't find any stray ward placers. So just very close to finding somebody there, though. They just barely missed the timing on Complexity going for this Dragon, which almost doesn't matter at all at this point. No. Dragon really just going to be
chump change.
A couple of extra pennies in their pockets.
That's the $5 they picked up.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Found it.
I found it. 3K gold just
Dragon
about
was
sitting
hoarding
on both
their
mid
gold.
laners. Well, that's what dragons do.
Yeah.
Slow movement for both teams here.
We almost need a bathroom break here.
Maybe. Can we get a caster pause?
Westrice going to shove up this side lane here. Doesn't mean a whole lot because whoever goes over here, Quas could easily go and hold that. Quas could actually join the fight just as quickly, if not quicker than Westrice. So
Here we
it's just
go.
going to be 2 minion waves that they have to clear.
Oh, he's coming over.
Quas can easily get it. See the poke wars here for all these Banshees. Robert again gets his Banshees popped and it was on the front line.
That was a good Banshees pop, though. I'm just kidding. That's all we got right
Well,
now,
I mean,
Kobe.
Curse do have the Kog'Maw, so that's definitely a big bonus for the old bubble pop game.
Oh, man. Soon. I promise, everyone. Soon.
You promise?
Might be one I can't keep.
Careful with those. Cop actually heads back to base. What's he doing? Buying elixirs? That's literally the only thing that would make any sense for him right
He's
now.
trying to make deals with the shopkeeper.
Hey, come out and fight for us.
I swear I can fit a sword in that trinket slot. Just let me try.
You got mercenaries in there?
Just see a whole team.
All right, he is.
Out of the base.
He's potted up. He's got both elixirs.
Yep.
Nothing else that he can buy.
Cop is a bright
All right.
star now.
Quas, go do something, Quas. Chase him down.
Fight him. Get that drunken rage on.
Double one!
Yes, they're fighting! That's the shockwave. It's all about Kez right now. Do they have enough focus to continue? Negative.
All right. Well, that's actually good news for Complexity. They don't have to worry about the Rengar Orianna now. So they've weathered the storm because the combo was not used on Robert and Prawley. Complexity are able to charge right up here. So that might have been a little overzealous for Curse.
That's progress. That's what I'm talking about.
Whenever you see that 2-for-1 pop, though, man, they just jumped right on it.
I'll be thinking about that all day. Robert, wow, that's not what you want to be taking right now. Got to be very careful. Nobody's got a shield that's helping him out that front or far on the front line. 6 to 7 in turrets. So with that, Complexity gets a little closer of evening up the map vision. Now they just have to clear out an inhibitor turret so they can start making some moves. Right now, they definitely have Curse on the back foot, but it doesn't mean Curse can't just turn a fight around in a few seconds.
Oh, 4 members, though. Curse are slow to rotate over.
That's the summoner heal going down. A lot of summoner spells have been being used, so along these fights, it's going to get harder and harder as teams are pressuring themselves to just the basic abilities. 50 seconds on to Baron.
Split second means everything. An inhibitor turret, that was huge for Complexity.
Yeah, needed to trade it back.
That's way bigger than getting a single kill. Getting that turret down without losing anybody or using too many ultimates, too many resources was a very big win for Complexity. They're very happy with how that last little venture up into Curse territory went for them.
Looks
taking down the outer turret and the inhibitor turret.
Quas outdid himself on Jack's side.
Yeah, there you go.
That farm. So
basically, it's just a
refarmed himself.
It's just a record of who can play the longest games. Your CS is just going to keep on going up and up for a top laner. But yeah, I mean, being slow to move at this point in the game, you really can't afford that. I'm surprised that we don't have more home guard boots, more home guard upgrade boots on the side of Curse. I mean, we'll give Cop a pass just because he doesn't have boots to upgrade. But Dominate might want to upgrade his too.
I bet she's got the money.
Maybe. Well, I don't know.
Well, maybe not. No,
he's actually the poorest guy.
Right.
He's actually the poorest guy on the team.
You're right.
Still hasn't sold his Madreds either. I think it's time to sell the Madreds because he's not going to be jungling at all anymore. You need to sell that, get your gold back, and buy your home guards with it.
Dominate needs to get that American Express card. You probably have the gold he needed. Looking for more fights, Kez. Not in range, just going for a ward. Thought it was going to be a real quick cocoon. We saw the last flash cocoon try for Voyboy. But,
Dominate going in for it. Robert, no Banshees, but he goes for Westrice.
Westrice gets hit. Okay, so it's an ult for an ult. You're definitely going to get Dominates up before you get the culling back in, so we could have another engage. They're doing a good job of holding this inhibitor here.
So it's so tricky. Dominate wants to get around the side to jump on Robert, but Voyboy still has to be in that ball range.
Whoa.
Keep your eyes on Robert and Prawley's positioning. Robert and Prawley should never be standing close to each other. If they funnel in through the wall here, then it could be even worse than having a turret up. Right now, well, Prawley has his Banshees up, but getting dangerous standing close to each other there.
Man, I didn't think we'd break any more records today, but we already got 2 in this game. Coming out 7. 4 turrets left on the map for each team right now. But it's the inhibitors in the eyes of Complexity. They're looking down the mid lane. 66 minutes into the game. That one fight means everything here.
Inhibitor at
first game
half.
today.
Are they going to give it up?
Wow.
Chased out of the base for the time being.
No real initiation if they can't get the shockwave in. Voyboy is very low on mana. So is Quas here.
Look at Cop, though. He's spending all of his mana trying to pop these Banshee Veils. He's almost run out. You have to be careful and keep enough for the actual fight. Popping the Banshees is important. Oh, that one would have been huge, getting Roberts.
He can hit some more. Having that Pyroarcane on doesn't
My
cost
God.
anything.
This is...
But you're not in range long enough for 8
Robert
seconds.
keeps us up. He's very quick on his toes here. Dodging all the skill shots.
You know, we did say about skill shots
Look at those minions pushing. Curse finally waited out. Side lanes both push for them. Now they've got Complexity on the run. Complexity have to decide between defending Baron and defending the side lanes.
It's the 6th and 7th man in the top and bottom lane right now for Curse pushing in the lane.
Kez,
Kez is way
taking
too hit
hits.
up. No mana for him. They're going to be definitely able to push this one down.
Oh,
Still
look at those
slowly
juicy
going.
waves. Curse. Force Baron.
Oh my gosh.
Force it. They're
has
running up for the inhibitor. They don't want...
tunneled on pushing the mid lane and has not seen this.
Exposed inhibitor. Easier to force here, but it's closer to the fountain. They get a flash. Complexity aren't in position.
All right.
Oh God, here we go.
All right. Getting a little more crazy.
Chased them out.
Oh my gosh.
All right, we got 2 inhibitors in that half riv. It's getting hot.
Well, technically we got 1 full inhibitor. There's it. Curse gets it down. They'll start pushing back out super minions.
Dominate takes a big chunk.
Well, what's slow? 1, 2, 3 slows. Impossible to chase. 4. Good luck. What a game we have
Okay.
going on, Kobe.
Now-
Dragon's alive. Somebody's got some pocket change.
No. We don't even look at Dragon anymore. We look at the purple
Oh,
one.
yeah? Oh, I was going to say Quas. Damn it.
Because purple one can actually go down real quick here. Curse have to be careful. They call for recalls. Give up this Baron. That's going to be gone pretty easily here for Complexity. So Curse, again, they trade an inhibitor for Baron. Interesting choice because 1 team fight is all it takes to win a game. At this stage in the game, I actually changed my mind and I would value a Baron buff more than I would a mid inhibitor because you get so much out of a Baron buff stats. That's the only way to increase your stats beyond, everybody's got 6 items right now, and a team fight win, killing somebody, means much more than 1 line of super minions. Super minions at this point, just 1 line down the middle, not that big of a deal. Whereas all the stats from Baron and the regen from Baron that will allow you to stay in your enemy's territory for longer, I feel like that is a better deal for Complexity. But I guess we'll see here. I don't get to see, there's not much data to go on at a 69-minute game, which is better, Baron or Inhibitor, when the middle turret is down.
Well, Kobe, that's something the players don't even know.
Well, we're going to increase our sample size by 1
By
right
1?
here.
Hell yeah.
See how it
Let's do
works out.
We almost make it the longest game. It might be CLG Legion back at regionals at PAX, like 75 minutes or something.
Yeah.
That game went on forever.
Who's got double elixirs? Not enough, actually.
Everybody's a bright shining star right now. Look at that. They're just running right through the lane. Let's see if the train falls off the tracks as Complexity flies down the mid lane here. They are 5 members strong. Will they be able to take down this inhibitor? Stopped up by a super minion.
Yeah, actually, Kez, the junglers are definitely the poorest. Kez still hasn't been able to get a Void Staff for his Elise,
Yeah.
which would definitely help out. The penetration items are pretty much the biggest items at the end stage of the game. So you really want everybody to have one of those. Even your support, you would love to have one on. We'll see if the game does go over 75 minutes or something like that, though, and we do see it. As of right now, we're on track.
On track indeed. So close to being able to get into the base. Curse still down 6,000 gold in the grand scheme of things. Not meaning anything with both teams are now over 100,000. But they've been there, keeping themselves alive without being in the lead pretty much this whole game. They've only grabbed it a few times to have Complexity take it back with slights of Baron, slights of split pushing.
Man.
And games just going in their favor.
And you think this fight is taking a long time? Imagine if there was a turret up right now. They would not even be stepping inside the base. So this is just the beginning here. What if this inhibitor even does go down? COMplexity still have to fight their way through one of these side turrets or the double turrets. So really, somebody's just
You all right over there?
somebody's gonna have to take a hit sooner or later.
Gotta do it. Oh, man. We got the cafeteria rumble going now.
Back to middle school. Dominate gets one hit on the side.
Oh, wait.
He's stocked
That's
up.
damage on the inhibitor.
Westrice goes in.
Oh, Westrice goes down the Randuins. That's a lot of damage coming in. That's going to be caught with only a few shots. Kaz getting hit as well. The inhibitor is able to go down.
Whoa,
What
whoa,
retreat
whoa, whoa,
coming from
Xpecial.
Kaz. Beautiful job by COMplexity, in and out, getting what they want. Now to the bottom lane, the inhibitor's going down. Let's get some gameplay going. Taking down the minions, huge clear coming from Voyboy.
Oh,
the
two more
command.
hits, it's going
Two more
down.
shots, Westrice trying to walk it around. ROBERTxLEE with the focus on the inhibitor turret. We got some action, baby.
Inhibitor number 2.
There,
Who's gonna
very
heal? Who's
close.
gonna heal? Dominate's going in. Oh, they don't get it.
Can't get the shockwave on. Now they're going to be able to get the ball move as well. Looks like probably on the outside. ROBERTxLEE taking quite a bit of damage. The shockwave was used, but did not do enough for the team. Curse now on the back foot. Nobody's gone down, and the home guards are definitely going to help, but COMplexity's moving in.
They're moving up. They're gonna go take out the last inhibitor. They want all the help they can get. 3 lines. Everybody gonna have super minions after this one goes down. Oh, they chase them off.
Oh, wait a minute. You got to be careful with all that low HP. You just used everything for the fight. Curse ready to answer
Guardian
back.
Angel.
I've seen this before.
Have you now?
So good moves. Finally, COMplexity dense
God.
puts a dent in the defenses of
Let's go
Curse.
get those double golems real quick, Robert. Yeah, that's gonna help. Oh, he got him. Lifesteal off. Okay, legitimate reason he was lifestealing. Okay, we'll give it to him. Lifestealing counts.
Thanks, coach.
Yeah, and then they recall anyway. Dominate looking to pick people off. Again, popping the ult just to scan for enemies. Doesn't find anyone, though.
Scrying Orb. That was out from ROBERTxLEE, so they have a bit of
Holy
safety.
moly.
COMplexity finds themselves a bit of ground.
75. We can do it.
75!
What's the longest game? I feel like it was 72.
I feel like it was 72
Are
or
we
73.
already?
I think we already beat it.
Are we already there?
Pretty sure the CLG Legion game was only
feel like
72
we're already
and a half
there.
or something like that.
Well, we're definitely already there for the North American LCS.
Yep.
But I want to know about all-time competitive league games.
Breaking records on records.
Then you get into like really sketchy territory though, where what do you designate as an actual competitive game? Has to be a sanctioned tournament,
Yep.
and then it doesn't even matter in the end. So people just get angry over small details. Anyways, though, as we said, looks like they are going to hit the 75 minute at least.
Well, let's be
74.
We got to be honest though. If Curse and COMplexity want to move up, they cannot have game results like this against the top teams in the league. This isn't something you can afford to do every game. The top teams aren't going to let you do this.
Well, it certainly is.
It's a peculiar situation.
It is a peculiar situation. Let's go with that.
Slow moving is what it is
All
right
right.
now. Nexus turrets.
They can't handle that
Nexus
many
turrets on the
supers.
screen. That's right.
Curse
Super
just has
minions
to
moving
go.
in.
Curse just have to go.
They
for
got to
it.
do something.
They just have to fight now. The longer you wait, the less tower health you're gonna have. So they got to just pull the trigger.
A lot of something, a little bit of this on the other side.
Oh no, Dominate's ult is down, so they pretty much have nothing to initiate with now.
So this turret should be theirs on the next wave easy.
Special's gonna have to pull some crazy flash ult initiate.
They did that without the wave, so
Look
it'll
at-
be a shot right here.
Robert will go down in 3 shots from COG though, if they can get him off.
Shoot it. Shoot it.
Take the shot!
He's got it. Oh, it's the fight. Could it be the last one? It is going for broke for both teams right now. They can see the exclamation. They know that Dominate is close. He's instantly turned on. Blocking with this Iron Solari, keeping him safe for only a little bit. He gets out with a sliver of HP.
none.
What a hold by Curse right now. No, another missed shockwave in the end.
Did they keep up the inhibitor too? 1 inhibitor up!
Oh! Put on the finish!
Sure!
Oh, it's the dodge. It only costs 4.
Oh, no, he
He's
missed
gonna
his
get
Q
out.
mana.
One more shot.
Oh, my
Triangle
God.
come out. There he goes. Oh, he gets him in the end. Cop's gonna be
And he's
able to
got a
land
flame
it.
active to kite! Oh my god! God!
Cop should be good here. He
Look
doesn't
at
know.
he's playing with fire.
What are you doing
He is
right now, Cop?
Playing with fire
He's
here.
gonna be walking. Oh my God! No way! Oh, he gets out of the ball. Oh, this game. Oh, need side. Need new side. Stitches, please. 17-8. 76 minutes in. We're still chasing. It's tying your shoes. Lace it up. We're going coast to coast on this one. Chasing Brawley around now. In the brush. Out of the brush. It looks like he's got a gap closed there. Will Voyboy go for it? Yes, he will.
He misses.
Oh, what is this?
In mid lane, also, Quas is getting chased through the mid lane by Kes. They want to push this inhibitor down. Quas, does he have home guard? He has home guard. He needs to get back to heal really quickly. Oh my God. And we're not done yet.
Dominate. Gets stopped up. There's a Guardian Angel on Westrice.
Okay.
I don't know if he actually has enough damage to kill him with the slow. Dominate's going to be putting out
All right.
too, so this should be an interesting walk along the beat.
Full tank protected. Full tank protected. Full tank. Dominate's just healing. It's not even hurting him. He's gaining life.
I like long walks in top lane, healing off you as you hit me, and farming minions.
Oh God. Well, we blew 75 out of the water.
Yeah, we did. There's a 77 on the clock.
Baron's
Right
up, baby. How do you end a 77-minute game, Riv?
with fireworks.
With a Baron fight. A Baron throw in classic. Oh, God. Classic form here. Let's see. Complexity are going to get that. This won't actually be a throw because Curse can't contest it. They have to kill me. Ah, okay, never mind. We'll see what happens.
Be the steal of
Could
the
be a
century.
pick. Could be a pick here.
We're going to have a lot of firsts here. The latest steal ever. The latest attempt ever. Oh, man. Start chalking them up. Call Guinness. We're ready to go on this. Going in for
Oh, they're going
Wait
in
a
the
minute.
teleport.
Oh, the teleport comes in. God, Dominate taking Wit a little too much there. Quas gets himself in a good spot. He's able to take a few shots under the flabs, but they get out safely on this one.
Robert Banshee down probably wasn't even there, but Curse back off. If Curse had known for sure probably was not there, maybe they would have forced that harder and used the Quas ulti. Quas still had his ulti, and there were several Banshees down. Oh, God. Teleport, though. Using teleport for that move means that they won't be able to hold the side lane and defend Baron. That move means that now they cannot contest this Baron. They have to defend now. The minion waves are going to be too much.
Well, they
Oh,
say
God.
no, Kobe.
I'm just kidding.
They say no.
I'm just kidding, Riv. The minion wave is doing work, though. It's getting up towards the Nexus.
The pressure is just too much.
Oh, my God. They're going to fight it.
Oh, that was really close.
Oh,
That was really close. Robert's smite was beautiful.
Yeah.
All right.
Robert.
Oh, push
God.
it. You got minions. They're going to clear that. Clear this up. Get the super minions everywhere that they can and try to
Let's do
a
80.
final
Come on, we're
pressure.
close. Let's do
We
80.
can do 80. That's only
I can
another
do
lap.
80. I can
Just
do
take
80.
a deep breath.
Like to see all the trinkets upgraded as well.
Yeah.
That's great. Always nice to see.
I think we can help.
TSM will swoop in and save the day for
Yep. Just imagine if we had
For
that,
Curse.
like in wrestling. Just
Westrice
get this
popping
music.
that ulti. He's charged up on Fury. Westrice getting angry.
Yeah. Spinning around with bugs. Looks good.
And now he's just confused. He walked around in a circle for a while.
There wasn't enough sand. Couldn't find the sand. 9-8.
Robert Banshee is down. Hey, yo.
2 Nexus turrets stand between Complexity and a win. Probably to the mid lane. No Lich Bane on him yet
Ziggs
either, so
passive,
he
though.
can't be crushing down, but he
The
does,
Ziggs
like you said,
passive
have the
working.
passive. Already crushing down. Doesn't need the Lich Bane just yet.
Oh, 10
have
more
it.
seconds. We can do it.
Watch it just hit 80 and everybody turns Super Saiyan and go crazy. It's a new feature nobody's
What?
seen
Yeah.
before.
What exactly happens in Summoner's when Summoner's Rift hits 80 seconds?
80 seconds.
A giant meteor hits the ground. Oh, there they go for it, Robert.
Oh my God, Bubbadub's gonna go down immediately. He does get the Zanyas on. Probably also needs to use his Zanyas. Everybody's trying to go for the fast fingers, and if it's slow, you're gonna be on
Robert's
the
going
end
on the
of
side. They're
death.
looking to end
They
it.
could look to finish it.
Nexus
Do they
turret.
see Robert? They got a Nexus turret to end the game. This is gonna be a through the front door base race. They are trying to get this
Oh my
down.
God.
Robert going for the shots. He's got a black shield to stay alive. He still has no summoners actually. A few more. Holy shit, they win the game by going in through the front door. Over 80 minutes. Complexity takes down Curse. I cannot believe
I believe it.
that just happened for that long, that many times consecutively, over and over. The circle of life to come back around, respawn, a new generation era, and then come back again and visit. Oh my word. What a game. Complexity. You know, whether they take it to the late game or not, either of these teams are teams to be reckoned with when it comes down to the wire. They know how to keep a tight formation, and they know how to play the game out to the last drop. 80 minutes.
Whew. Yeah, we did it. You guys at home, you are troopers.
You guys did it. Everybody here, you did it.
You deserve a pat on the back, everybody who partook in this game.
See, I like complexity now, because obviously they know that, damn, it shouldn't have taken that long, but they can still come out with smiles, knowing this is where we went wrong. That's where we went wrong. In a very hard-fought game from Curse, a 3-1 surge off of Super Week for Complexity to stop that. Big momentum for them. Absolutely. The mental play, the physical coming out of that one at 80 minutes. Definitely a bit, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
A little sweaty there, coming off of the keys for the players, but they're ready. Good thing it's not a Super Week, because they'd have more games to go.
Yeah, we saw it. It affected Westrice. Popping his all, getting that Fury charged up, walking around in circles for a bit.
Holy mackerel.
You got to walk it off sometimes. It's too intense for a while.
What an amazing game. Now can the rest follow up? Because we still have awesome games lined up for the day. We have teams that are still trying to reach
every single one is going to be over 80 minutes.
Absolutely.
I guarantee it.
You better call and cancel your appointments.
I don't guarantee it. Just kidding.
Didn't we guarantee something earlier? And I forgot. Whatever. But what a game to come out there. Strong play from Dominate in the beginning to really set Curse on the good foot. Great ganks coming out. Full kill participation in the first 2 to 3 from
Can't
Dominate.
even remember. Oh, yeah, that's what
The
happened.
Rango.
Rango happened.
Rango in the bottom.
He started out great with it. We saw the Ori Shockwave combo work wonders on Probably in the mid lane. Bottom lane, he got back into the game to get going. Towards the mid game, I don't know. He must have tried that combo 80, 70, 90 times. Some of them were good, some of them weren't good.
Yeah.
Just
You win some, lose some.
can't even remember all of them. Man, that was a fun game to watch, though. Everybody ending up with full items, maxed out elixirs as well as upgraded trinkets.
Yeah, that was a hell of a game. Definitely not something I have seen before in the
We may have
way
had
of
10 Banshee Veils.
I think so. Full bubbles
Yep.
all around the map. Might be a first as well. Like I said, we had a lot of firsts in
10
that game.
Banshees.
But to see, I always love that part when the game gets there, where you can kind of say, like, what happened before this. Yeah, it still matters, but now each player gets to test each other with the max of everything you could ever have. Like, how really are you as a champion? How good are you?
It's also a test of, where are these teams at right now? What are they thinking? Is this a type of team that goes for the aggressive moves late and goes for gambles, tries to put themselves out there and take risks in order to get rewards? Or do they just play it as safe as possible? Where does each team's line for their risk versus reward? How risk averse is each team?
Well, in this game,
both of these teams were very risk averse.
Very risk averse. We saw it more in the mid game after Dominate kind of took lead and gave Cop a few kills. We saw the fact that Kog'Maw's power curve as a U in that mid game when he doesn't have power was also where they weren't really doing anything. They were letting Complexity get dragon after dragon after dragon. So their risk on the dragons early game seems to be the other team. It's all right for them to have it. Which can hurt.
Yeah, they had Chris had literally 0 dragon control for the very opening of the game, but that didn't even snowball into an early lead for Complexity.
That's true.
It was a late game lead.
That's right. That's when you look at the late game and you're like, well, none of that stuff before really matters because it was 6 items and to the heavens. And for more on that record-setting match, let's throw it over to Dash and Freak at the analyst desk.
Thanks, Riv, and way to stick that game out, guys. We're joined by ROBERTxLEE and Westrice of Complexity after another record-setting match. You've now topped your past record for longest game, bringing this one to 80 minutes and 45 seconds. All right, so that's one record. The second one being that, Robert, you yourself hit 719 CS, which is the most in NA for a single game.
I'm not sure that's a good thing. I don't feel good, dude. I don't feel good either.
But ultimately, that brings you guys to 7-12 on the split. And now you're just one game behind Curse, given that they've now been knocked down a peg as well. So how does that feel? Coming out of a game like that, you can eye that 6th place spot now.
Yeah, it definitely makes us feel a lot better. We really needed this game to have a chance to get back 6, and like winning this game just made it a whole lot easier to get that spot back.
Well, I mean, speaking of that, though, Westrice, we had an article interviewing you a little while ago, and you were saying, you know, our ambitions are pretty humble. We're going for 6th place. We're going to maybe make a run during the playoffs. But you guys are, like, 5 wins, like 4... You're 4 wins behind the first place team. You're 4 wins behind first place with, like, 9 games to go. Any chance you kind of reconsider and say maybe we make the rush to the top?
We'll definitely keep that in mind. But right now, we just want to be at 6.
Okay.
But yeah, like all these teams are like taking games off each other, so I would not be surprised if we do end up getting those 4 wins and getting to the top. But that's something we really want to look at.
All right, absolutely. Now I want to jump right into Champs League. Let's talk about this incredibly long game. Lux, why didn't we see her get picked?
I just remember seeing there was a Reddit post saying that that 2 teams out of 8 are going to pick Lux. So we're like, let's troll this. I mean, we just it's all for the troll.
All right, classic troll. But all joking aside, you guys came out of Champ Select with a lot of really strong early game picks, and we saw you use that to bully lanes and kind of demonstrate some dominance. However, that resulted in going down in some kills early. You were down 4-1, but you picked up 4 dragons in a row to start the game off. So when being down in kills, what allowed you that kind of objective control? Robert?
So we're leading in CS. We picked dominant lanes over our opponents, but all that got neutralized because of the Rengar ganks. Like, Dominate did a really good job ganking us and kind of evened out the game. But despite those ganks, we just decided, like, we just need to play more passive. And, you know, we still had the stronger lane. So we just dropped down pink wards, control the objectives instead of trying to bully our opponent out of lane. So that's why we got like almost, I would say almost every single dragon.
Yeah,
almost.
You guys took 4 dragons in a row. You were 4-0. They took the 5th one. So that was sort of the game plan. You said, well, oh, shoot, there's this Rengar who's really scary. You've got to worry about Dominate. Kind of a 2-point question then. So, one, you talked about it a little bit. You said you put pink wards down and played less aggressively. So what was sort of the adaptation to play around Rengar? And 2, do you think this is a champion more teams should pick up because it forced you guys to play more passively?
I don't think teams should play Rengar because I don't like playing passive.
The rest of it, otherwise put
There you
down.
have it.
Great. An honest answer.
Yeah, but really, Rengar is a very annoying champion. I always thought that, oh, we just got to group together and Rengar ulti won't do anything. Oh, man, I was so wrong. That Orianna Rengar combo caught me off guard so many times. I was like, I'll just dash the Orianna ultimate. This is so easy. And then Dominate had the 5 Fury stack E. I get rooted down. I'm like, oh no, I can't dash anymore, and I just cried to sleep.
Well, thankfully you stayed awake throughout the game. 80 minutes in, you guys still made it happen. So you can cry tonight and prepare for your game tomorrow on that one. Okay, so then you guys had this really weird mid game where you guys can't pick up any kills easily. Like there's like a 9-1 in kills, some crazy score where you guys can't seem to win any team fights. How did you manage to actually group yourselves back up? You're facing a late game Kog'Maw, who's all kinds of scary, right? Like, and you can't seem to win any team fights. How do you sort of recollect yourselves and play aggressively again?
In the end, we couldn't push on them. That, as you can see, the combo is just way too deadly. So we called in our 6th member, the minions, to help us push, and we just let it slow push and have them do the work. Like, we learned from the Korean gods on how to play the game, and we won. We beat the game 65.
Yeah, I mean, that worked really well. So speaking of the mid-game a little bit more, you guys had a couple of good plays, though. There's a team fight. It's around 39 minutes into the game. You guys pick up a kill. If we can pull the replay up. This is going to be a special replay. It actually goes for the entire rest of the game. So for the next 50 minutes, tell me what you guys are thinking during this fight. Go ahead.
It's all US.
All right, let's see if I remember what happened here. So, yeah, right here, we had the feeling that we were getting caught. But, like, me and Kez are really tanky. So at this point, we were just kind of back so our team can rejoin us. So they actually like chased us pretty far in, and then at this point, Bubba was calling go because, and then he got a beautiful 5-man ult. And at this point, it was the green light to go in, but at the same time, Robert got knocked out. Yeah, Dominate ended up dying there, and right here, I think I flashed a little bit too early. I should have waited till my E was back up, and then I flashed E. So I think we could have gotten like at least one more kill if I played that properly. But in the end, it just, you know, it ended up being just a 1-for-0 when it could have been more.
Well, absolutely. And that just demonstrated your guys' team fight potential there with the Ziggs and the Lucian and things like that. But I actually want to throw another question at you, Westrice, which is, as we moved into late game, I noticed that you did not build a single damage item. What was the thought process behind that? Was it just, I'm going to be the giant meat shield and let these guys throw in the damage, or what?
Actually, it was just more for the Gragas. So, like, Gragas harass is really hard, and I think he's, like, one of the best top laners right now. And, like, the way to deal with it is with more sustain. So, I just played Renekton. I had no plan of killing him at all, like no plan. Like my job was just to clear the minions and be a meat shield for my team. So like that's basically what I did. And I'm just like a stun bot for the team too. So I didn't want to die, and I just wanted to be a stun bot. And yeah, that's basically how it went.
All right, well, we're going to now jump forward to where you guys are all 6 items, and you guys are now breaking into the base. This is a replay here for the final push into the base here to end the game. Robert, explain to me what's going on, because you guys end up making the decision to backdoor about midway through this team fight. Let's roll.
Okay, so in this team fight, I get caught really, really badly. I think Rengar's up my face, and I get Lucian. I'm like spamming my flash and I'm just doing my COL. I'm just kiting out. The rest of my team says that Kez said he caught Orianna, so I was like, I can't really do anything in this fight. I'm just gonna go and try to end the game, because I'm worthless in the team fight. I'm way too low. So I just went for the game end, and actually working out, and it was really close. I couldn't hit the Nexus there.
Inhibit respawn.
I actually killed the Nexus.
Oh, dude, you're a god.
You know what? I wasn't even thinking about it.
Wes, dude, if
no,
you
I didn't even know that the inhib went up.
Oh my god,
like,
I love you
like,
even more.
I mean, yeah, dude.
Dude, wow.
I didn't mean to do that, honestly, but you know, it just worked out.
Just
what the
natural
heck?
skill.
They all planned. Say we coordinated that. Dude, we're next level. We were like,
okay,
yo,
fine. I planned that. I just wanted to be modest. You know?
The mind meld was so real.
It's actually, Robert, I think it was you in pregame chat. You were talking with the other players, and you're like, you're either going to win in 20 minutes or we're going to win in 60, but it's our choice which one that one is. I feel like you guys willingly just go into these hour-and-a-half long games.
I don't even know what to say.
I think
it's not even a question, it's just a great statement.
These games are very mind-tolling for sure.
Yeah.
Because I was beating myself up because I got caught by the Ori Rengar combo like twice and costing my team team fights because of it. And I was like, man, dude, like these team fights are so frustrating. And this is the worst comp that I ever, like one of my worst comps that I ever played against, where you're forced to play like a little lady and then just wait for the Rengar ultimate to wear off. And then it's such a short cooldown too. So you only have like a 40, 50 second window to get stuff done, right? I think you need to nerf that champion. I think they should increase the cooldown to 2 minutes on ultimate.
Okay,
we'll make sure to pass that message.
Because no one likes these 90-minute games, and I guarantee you that if Rengar wasn't in the game, we would have manned up.
Well, no one can say that it wasn't exciting, that's for sure. All right, but given how exhausting these long matches are, you guys are facing LMQ tomorrow, which is one of those top teams. What's the reset like and the prep going into tomorrow, and how confident are you?
I think LMQ is like one of the best teams right now, and we don't really have a good record versus them either. So like that's definitely something we need to like really prepare for.
All right. Well, best of luck in your preparation for that game tomorrow. Congratulations on the win and the records. And we're going to be heading off the rift for about 3.5 minutes. After the break, we'll get back into the action with Evil Geniuses taking on Cloud9. Don't go anywhere.
We're putting too much energy into the cameras, guys. There's movement for the game.
It'll be close.
Can they get the shockwave combo off?
Yeah. Oh, they do! Wombo combo indeed. Served up just right. A great job by Kez. Oh, Cobb still staying alive. One last shot. A few more for Westrice. The Academy surprise. If nothing will take him down. And Cobb is going to stay alive.
Cobb doesn't have his.
Put bubble Cobb. Oh, you got him! ROBERTxLEE, relentless pursuit, but it doesn't matter. He gets chewed up from Cobb. The authority is laid down. One inhibitor. Oh, no! Put on the finish. Sure. Oh, it's the dodge. It only costs 4. No, he's going to kill man. One more shot.